for Schofield, who did well to control it. Now wheels around, likes his chances. He's a neat finisher now.
To attack halfway. This time goes up the back. There's a chance for Schofield. Oh, he kicked it behind this time.
And my manager called me, and it was the last day after the last game of the year. And I was just like, fuck, this is going to be good or is it going to be shit? And I answered it, and I just knew straight away. And then when he said it, it was just like, it felt like all the I think you said it before, that all the life just got like sucked out of me, and I was just like, literally just walked downstairs, and I was just crying, and mum and that were like, what the fuck, like what's going on? And I was like, oh, I'm not getting a contract. But then the worst thing was like mum and dad were crying because they're obviously on the journey and they ride the highs and the lows. And so when they get upset, I don't know, it just was like, it was a pretty fucking shit time, as you could probably imagine. But it's like everyone just thought that when you get drafted, you'd play for 10 years and have a really long, successful career. And I was probably like that when I got drafted. I probably never would have thought that it would have been done in 2 years. And then when it is, it's just like, you just sort of like a little bit lost essentially because you're just like, it's all you've grown up knowing and thinking that that's how it will sort of play out. I still will say now, like I never really felt the pressure or expectation from having a dad that played in the AFL. Like, and everyone always used to ask me, and I genuinely didn't really feel that pressure to be like him or like be as good as him or anything like that. But then that's probably where sort of that expectation comes from, is that people just think I'm going to be like. I don't feel like I've ever had a bad day at work because it's just like they're always just so up and about. Like even if you're not in the greatest mood or whatever, like you just, I don't know, they just find a way to bring joy.
Ever since I quit my old job and I started working in disability support, like there's not been a single day where I've been like, I've woken up or I've gone to bed. You know that feeling when you go to bed and you're like, fuck, I really wouldn't mind just like staying home today. Like I haven't had that feeling all year or all 7-8 months.
I still like coming back to Subi, the only really difference is like that we train at night time and like we don't have as many meetings. That's actually the only thing. And I feel like, especially in my draft year, like even when we'd play against teams, like guys on other teams would sort of just be like, like you're only getting drafted because you're dad. But it's like a team wouldn't draft you if you're not good. Like even if your dad did play there or whatnot. And it's not like I don't train, I don't do extras and I'm just getting sort of like gifted an AFL opportunity. Like I'd probably be doing more training than anyone else and dedicating like my life more than anyone else. And then I guess it's sort of just a bit of reward for effort. And people probably don't see the stuff that not just me but anyone else does behind closed doors. I guess I don't have any regrets and I wouldn't change a thing because I can definitely say I'd put my all into, and who's not to say that it won't happen again, but I definitely, and I still am, putting my all into getting drafted. Whereas like, and it's same with me early this year, like I wasn't playing bad, I just wasn't playing to the level that like
you set for yourself.
Yeah, and so I might have been having 20 in a goal and people probably thought I was still playing good, but in my own head I was like, fuck, like why am I not having 25 and 3 goals? Like I feel like it's such like a, yeah, it can be a bit of a expectation like, that you put on yourself as well.
The medal paradox is that people who win bronze feel happier than those who won silver. Because the people who won bronze are like feel sort of lucky just to be on the podium and they compare themselves to the pack. While the people in silver, they compare themselves to the gold because they just missed out. Yeah. So even though objectively the silver medal did better than the bronze felt better about it.
Just especially in the AFL, like you can be as fit and strong and skillful, but if you're not mentally like fit and strong upstairs, like you just genuinely can't survive.
Crumble,
Like that's probably the biggest thing that I've learned over the last 3 years is like your mind literally controls every single thing. Like, yeah, you can.
The more you realise that, the more you succeed as well.
Yeah, you can bench press 150 kilos, you can run a 6-minute 2K, you can do whatever. But if you don't have the mindset or the confidence or the belief or whatever it is, you genuinely just like, you just can't like do what you need to do. And that's what I've found even this year. Like, I had a hell good off season last off season, thinking I'm going to come in with the mindset that I'm going to come in and dominate. Didn't probably happen early on, and I had to quickly realize that, like, it wasn't because I wasn't fit, or wasn't because I've lost my talent or anything like that. It was literally because of my mindset going into games. And the quicker I realized that was the quicker, like,
Saw results.
yeah, I saw results. And I'll explain it from like how I see it. So say I miss a kick and put my hand in the air, I feel as though I've acknowledged it to every single person in the stadium. So it's like it makes you move on better, rather than if you don't do anything, you're just constantly thinking in your head, fuck, like,
Just about letting go.
yeah, everyone's just thought that everyone's still thinking about me fucking that kick. Whereas like if you acknowledge it and you do like a physical action, it helps you like move on. And
It's cool.
so that was like something pretty big, because that's the biggest thing in footy. Like, I reckon it's so easy to get caught up on mistakes, but like literally you might be worrying about a kick you missed to that guy, but he missed the ground ball that you kicked to him. So it's like there's just so many mistakes, but you only worry about the ones that you've done. And the quicker you can move on from them, the quicker you can just get on to the next thing. And I found the physical cue of putting my hand in the air and acknowledging to myself and in my head everyone in the stadium or every player on the field that, yeah, I acknowledge I missed that kick. Then you can just move on to the next thing. You learn from like those sort of things, and they make you a better person and stuff. And like if I was to go back into the AFL now, I'd be a completely different person. I don't know. I'd feel like I'd just attack in such a different way. But again, yeah, I've got no regrets on anything like that. Keeps reinforcing that, like, yeah, you can go through pretty fucked up times, but it's what you sort of do like in the moment, like, and
How you react to them.
yeah, you always come out the other side. Like, you might not, like, you always learn something from it and become a better person. And that sort of like gives me confidence to sort of take anything head on now, that like if it goes to shit, like I know I'm going to be all right. And when I was in the AFL, like last year, it was probably genuinely the most draining year of my life. Like, because especially when I started playing well, when I was emergency, and like you're getting told by people that you're close to playing and you're playing really well, like blah, blah, blah. But it was like all week you build yourself up thinking that you might play, then you get told you're not going to play and you just drop straight back down. But then you got a game in a day, so you got to get yourself back up. Then you play well and you're on a high again, thinking that you're going to play the next week. Then you don't get picked, then you go back down. It's literally just a roller coaster like the whole time. Like going through a breakup a few months ago, sort of since then I've said to myself that I'm not going to force anything, and I'm just sort of just going to go about my thing and do what I need to do to make myself better and happy, and everything will sort of just fall into place around it. And I guess that uncertainty of what lies ahead, whether that's footy, relationships, work, like study, whatever it is, I'm just going to stay as present as I can, and I guess just work on myself and